Hey there guys, what's up? Welcome to a new show called OU Monday. This is a show where I will be taking on the different formats of Pokemon Showdown and showing off a different battle each day of the week under these formats. Today is OU Monday, Wednesday is for UU, and then we have RU on Friday. I hope you'll enjoy this new show and its format, and I'm excited to bring you today's battle. I had this one not too long ago actually, it was just a couple hours ago, and it was very exciting. I'm on the other side, so you get to see all my beautiful Pokemon. I lead off with Rotom Wash, because looking at his team, it's the thing that I want to have out there the most. Because I can do damage to the Landorus Therian, and I can Volt Switch out of anything else. So Landorus is brought in, I keep reading the Therian part, and I get off a nasty Hydro Pump. It almost takes it out. I would have been so happy to OHKO the Landorus Therian right away. He gets off a Toxic onto Rotom, and I go for the burn just to inflict damage on whatever he brings in. He doesn't have anything that can stop the burn. And Chansey comes in and takes it, so I switch out of Rotom, and I go into Scizor. And I'm looking to just destroy. Looking at his team, I don't see anything that can really stand up to Scizor, but it is Choice Banded, so I have to be selective about what I do. I use my knockoff on Magnezone, and it's so close to dying. However, it is able to survive, it gets off a hidden power, and because of Chansey's wish, we are now sitting at 69 HP on this thing. So I bring in Heatran, and I finish it off with a quick Earth Power to Magnezone's face. Now Greninja comes in, and I decide I don't want to take my chances. I go into Venusaur, and Venusaur takes a very unpleasant U-turn. That's almost a fifth of its HP off of a physical U-turn from Greninja. That's not good. I Mega Evolve, and a critical Dragon Claw sends my Mega Venusaur to an early grave. And my opponent was very apologetic about it. It was very nice. But you know, those kinds of things happen, and the fact that he apologized really took the sting off of it completely. Always be a good sports, folks. So Latios decides to take a giant crap on Landorus Therian. I didn't want to go for the I have Psyshock on this, because if Greninja came in with its dark typing, that would have just been a complete waste. So he switches into Slowbro, I switch into Rotom Wash, and I managed to get the burn off on Slowbro as well. Slowbro had evidently been expecting the Volt switch, because he went for the Slack off, but didn't take any damage that turn. So now Slowbro switched out, and into Chansey, who has healed off her burn, courtesy of the Natural Cure. And my Pain Split heals me completely back to full, because of Chansey's ludicrous HP stat. Now I go for the Volt switch, but a Protect from Chansey keeps me in for a turn longer, and gets more toxic damage off. I am able to get a Volt switch off in the end, and a critical Volt switch on Chansey does 13%. Can you believe this bulk? I go into Heatran, less to do damage and more to take the hit. What I'm worried about with this Chansey is that it carries the Thunder Wave. I do not want anything on my team to be Thunder Waved. I leave Heatran out here as a sacrificial lamb. I set up some Stealth Rocks. I taunt it. I'm so scared of this Thunder Wave. I'm letting Heatran take so much damage. It's all unnecessary, but I do not want anything to be Thunder Waved. I bring in Gyarados because I know Gyarados can hit Chansey, and I want to be able to protect myself for when that taunt ends. So I try to set up a substitute, and Chansey breaks it with the Seismic Toss, and now I'm afraid, so I want to set up another substitute. And Chansey goes for the Seismic Toss again. And at this point I'm thinking, I don't think that Chansey is carrying a status move. So I go for the Waterfall, and I destroy it. I destroy this Chansey. I had nothing to be afraid of with it. I wasted a lot of HP on something that just never was. I was expecting way too much out of that Chansey, and I let it cost me half my Gyarados' HP. Now Rotom Wash ends up going down to 2 Fusion Bolts courtesy of this Kyurem Black, and I am really on the back foot now. I have to bring out Latios, and my basic means of getting rid of his team members are to bring Latios in, Draco Meteor, but then I had to switch Latios out, and that is really slowing down my momentum. I don't have any offensive presence at all when I have to switch Latios out. Here Greninja comes in, I have to bring in Heatran, and a resisted Ice Beam does only 10%, but Greninja's power is enough that anything else is going to destroy what's left on my team. I have to be so careful right now. I go into Gyarados, and I want the Intimidate off on the Skyrim. I don't want it to be able to do any damage, and I go into Latios. It is time to approach the end. Latios takes a Fusion Bolt, loses a third of its HP, takes out all of Kyurem Black's HP with its Draco Meteor, and now it's Greninja versus the world. But a Greninja versus the world is something to be afraid of. Now I'm going to pause real quick. Throughout this whole battle, I thought this Greninja was carrying, excuse me, I'm a bit sick, was carrying Choice Specs. I had noticed he hadn't been taking any Life Orb damage from his U-turns. All the HP he's taken have been from the Stealth Rocks switching in, so he doesn't have a Life Orb. He hasn't been switching attacks really. He used Ice Beam on Heatran, and then I don't think he U-turned out, right? Heatran? Yeah, he switched out instead of using the U-turn. I was so convinced that he was using Choice Specs. I didn't think that the natural power of Greninja would be enough to be just destroying my Pokemon left, right, and center without a Choice Specs. So here I bring in Gyarados, and I see that the Dark Pulse does a lot, so I'm like, that's gotta be Choice Specs. I take another one, and I'm basically prepared to try and whittle this thing down. And Heatran goes down too, and I'm like, okay, at this point I've got this, right? Because I've got a Choice Scarfed Latios, it's gonna be faster. But the Dark Pulse goes before Latios, and at this point I realize it's a Choice Scarfed Greninja. I got swept by a Choice Scarf Greninja. And that's not a bad thing. Greninja's natural speed is great, but he was clearly using this as a counter to other Choice Scarf users to put Greninja's speed first. This was definitely an answer to Latios and Latios in his team, and it worked out exceptionally well. I should have been... The crit that he got on Venusaur was really sent this battle in a downward spiral for me. Because if I still had Venusaur, then I would have had an answer to the Slowbro without having to waste Latios' Draco Meteor. Latios's. Get them all confused. Latios' Draco Meteor. I would have had an answer to this Greninja, and I probably wouldn't have lost right there. But that being said, the crits happen, and I can't change what happened, and Galactic Grunt Sean put up an excellent battle. That was a lot of fun, and it really went down to the wire there. I was actually convinced I was going to win at the end. Like, my jaw hit my desk when I saw that he outsped my Latios. It was a very cool battle, and I learned a lot from it. Getting back into the OU scene, it's been a bit of a difficult transition, but Galactic Grunt Sean showed me a lot about the scene that I am pretty jazzed to learn about. So, I will see you guys on Wednesday as we tackle the UU, that is the underused tier format on Pokemon Showdown. Until then, take care, and happy OU Monday, everybody. Bye-bye!